And well, welcome back everybody. Welcome to, for the first time in a year, over a year, ESL Open Cup number 141 Americas, not Asia. Oh my god. I'm of course your host Live VIP, and with me is the one, the only, the plushies. Welcome everyone, welcome back. And yeah, for those who don't know, we used to cast this a little bit more regularly, but it's been a long time. I can actually check the stats right now. Since our last ESL Open Cup Americas broadcast, typically in recent years, we have just been consolidating ourselves, or confining ourselves, sorry, to Asia. So yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Quickly checking ESL Open Cup Americas. God, 74? 74 weeks ago? My god, I quickly want to check. America 79, December 8, 2021. 2021. Oh my god. So yeah, a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago, but here we go. We are in our first series of the day, and spawning in the bottom, oh there we go, the bottom left hand corner of Inside Now, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself. It is 3Point. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have our very own, representing the CranKy Ducklings, it's the American Protoss. It is PattyMac. Oh, and something is not right. Oh, there we go. That's why. Beautiful. So yes, we are here in our first series. We did miss out on round one because this was very impromptu. I wasn't necessarily planning to cast, I'll be honest. I never planned to cover ESL Open Cup Americas, but I woke up pretty early this morning and I got breakfast and I got some food and I got ready, and I forgot that this tournament existed. And I just felt like casting. Yeah, I guess because I'm on the casting grind, and we've been on the casting grind covering DreamHack after DreamHack after DreamHack after DreamHack. It felt wrong not to cast. It felt wrong not to be here. So here we are. Shout out to Stephen Curry in the chat. Bienvenidos. Welcome. A South Korean Protoss player. He may be on the bracket as well. It's interesting. We have Honmono, we have 3Point. I'm sure we have plenty of others. So far, the openers are pretty standard. We do see a hatch gas pull from 3Point, and honestly, I'm a little bit surprised because 3Point is the cheesiest Zerg player in all of South Korea. So I expected something a little bit more aggressive, but so far, everything is looking pretty standard. We have our hatchery, we have a couple of links coming across the map, but again, they're just going to be checking across the map and nothing too crazy. Overlord is going to be pushed away. These links may be able to slip in and get, they probably will slip in and get a full scout, but they're really just going to see PattyMac's opener. PattyMac, he's doing it. If you are unfamiliar with PattyMac's style, he opens up 3 gates. He goes 3 gate into Adepts, Glaveless Adepts, then he throws down a Twilight Council behind this, then he will commit to Glaves, by the way, and then he'll go into double Stargate Phoenix. Again, I don't know where he learned it. I would love to interview him about this, by the way, because it's something that I've only ever seen him do. I don't know if like Nina does it, or like I haven't seen Trigger do it. I haven't seen any other NA Protoss do it. So it's really interesting. It's a very interesting style. It's very unique. It's very PattyMac, and there are a lot of layers, a lot of facets to it. So we're going to be, again, starting off with these Adepts. 3 Adepts going to be going across the map just to deal some damage, just to harass. Meanwhile, a very fast Roach Warren here by 3Point, almost countering this from PattyMac, because again, PattyMac is going to be committing into Glaive Adepts. 3Point is going to be cutting drones a little bit earlier here, so he will be a little bit safe against these Adepts, but the first 3 are going to be able to get across the map. First 6, sorry. Here we go. They are moving out. Again, these are going to be Glaveless to begin with. They're only to apply some pressure. They're going to force out units, force out lings, force out roaches, force out whatever they can. Meanwhile, 3Point still only working off of 1 gas right now. Actually canceled the Roach Warren. Oh, uh-oh. That is not good, as the first Queen is going to get picked off. Not enough energy for transfuse, but oh, barely. PattyMac doesn't commit. He will go for the Shade and pick off 2 drones. couple more of these drones are going to go down in the process as well. 3 drones in total. And again, there's more to this. Glaives is on the horizon. More Adepts are going to be on the way as well. They came into the shade. They do go in. And again, there are only Lings to defend. I was so impressed that 3point was going for the Roach Warren. Like, that is what we want to be doing against this style. But unfortunately, he misread the situation. He cancelled. We do have a recall back home. In the end, 3 drones and 8 Lings. Not a massive amount of damage. But PattyMac is going to be coming back with Glaives with even more Adepts. Oh my god. It's crazy. Would you have a massive Ling run by though? So it looks like 3point may be able to cancel this third base actually. In the end, he goes for a probe. PattyMac doesn't turn around, by the way. Ooh, 3point doesn't commit to trying to take down this hatchery. He's going to turn around instead, and this may be the end. I mean, I'm really concerned because we really lack units to defend. Would you have the Adepts shading in? Very nice pull here by 3point. He will save his entire middle line, only loses 1 queen, but there are just so many Adepts, and they can fight the Lings and the queens and everything. Oof. As we see a shade into the main base as well. More drones are falling. The queen almost gets picked up. 0 mining time here in the main base as well. This is where the gas geysers are, by the way. We don't have any gases anywhere else, so these are dangerous times. But I really respect 3point for keeping his cool and having Banelings on the way. Banelings are a sure way to shut down these Adepts. Here we go. The Banelings are going to rock up. PattyMac, he sees them. He has eyes on them. He has eyes. Split, puppy, split! Ah! The Banelings do connect. The Adepts are going to be, 2 of them are going to be able to escape, and oh, they can actually wreak a little bit more havoc here at the third base. Oh my god. Yeah, they can one-shot these drones. Ay, ay, ay. Eventually this, oh my god. They just keep going. Eventually the Adepts get cleaned up. Looking at the units tab, 14 Adepts for 14 drones, 2 queens, and 35 Lings. I would argue pretty well worth it, especially because back at home, we should be prepared. We do have our Adepts, we do have our shield batteries, we have a bit of a Ling counterattack, but with Overcharge, this isn't going to do too much, and there is that double Stargate Phoenix, also a Dark Shrine. So we always talk about this. It is kind of Brood War-esque. So the Phoenixes are going to be able to kill Overlords and Overseers. The DTs are going to be able to wreak havoc elsewhere. We can also morph them into Archons, but the Ling Bane is here. And here we go. PattyMac, he doesn't quite respond. We do have a couple of deaths to defend, but we need Archons. We need Archons, puppy. Ah! We do have an overcharge, and that's going to be okay. A couple of Banelings are going to be picked up here. We do have a full surround. Oh my god, on this shield battery. But the shield battery gets depowered, and the Lings are going to go ham. The entire middle line is going to go down. Very nice counterattack here by 3point, but there is a DT to defend. DTs. Oh, so now PattyMac is still ahead in the workers. Bear that in mind. He's up in bases. He does have a 4th on the way, but he did sustain a lot of losses, so that is going to kind of equalize things a little bit. The Phoenixes are still going across the map, and oh god, the Queens are in position here. They're going to be able to take down 1 Phoenix. Up. 2 Phoenixes for a Queen. Not ideal, but this is going to snowball. A second Queen goes down. 3rd Queen, 4th Queen. Every single Queen can get picked up here, but at the same time, we have another massive Ling run by here at the third base. DTs will eventually clean this up, but again, their DPS is just a little bit too low. Oof. Well, another Phoenix is going to go down. There we go. 3point will force this all the way back. And this is such a slugfest. 3point is up on 4 bases. We're even in workers right now. 3point is still committed to Ling Bane. PattyMac has a little bit of tech options. Has access to charge lots, has access to Glaive Adepts, and also those Archons. But he's still just hyper committing to Phoenixes. And I'm a little bit concerned about this. Like, if we just keep going for Ling run by after Ling run by after Ling run by, I do feel that eventually this third base is going to fall. Or all the bases, actually. Light is officially addicted to casting. Hello, Nish. Hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Here we go. Bathing run by being set up here at that third base. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes are still looking for a little bit more damage. Looks like this 4th base is completely empty, completely neglected. 1 drone will go down, maybe even a second. Bathing run by is going to go in, and I'm still waiting for another form of tech here from PattyMac. He opted not to go for Blink. Oh, the Queen will go down. Oh no, spores! I guess we have 4 on the way, Copium. Bailing run by does get denied here. Doesn't get into that mineral line. Oh boy. And again, I still think that Ling Rumbice can do a lot for 3-point, but he is transitioning into roaches instead. Still has Lynx to support, don't get me wrong, and they're going across the map now. We are getting into roaches, but behind this, PattyMac is getting into his robotics bay. Is getting into his upgrades, has an insane economy. And finally, the Archons. Yeah, looks like we get a surround on one of the Archons. Not a bad trade here, Lynx for gas. But it did cost a lot of Lynx in the end, and yeah, I don't know if 3-point has really been able to stabilize yet. I'm impressed that he's been able to keep up in the drones. Don't get me wrong, it has been pretty impressive what he's been able to accomplish and how he's been able to keep up with PattyMac. Macro-wise, like, everything has been slowed down. Like, the upgrades, the range upgrades are slow, the roach upgrades as well, and the kind of roach counterattack. By the time it does hit across the map, PattyMac should have an answer to it. In saying that, PattyMac actually doesn't have eyes on the army. He doesn't see that 3-point is going to be working on that big roach bush. That's not going to be seen until now. Okay, the roach army still hasn't been spotted. PattyMac is going to be flirting here with the 4th base. He's going to dip on in, and shortly he will get eyes on this army. He has to back off. He has to maybe even recall. Okay, actually turns around to fight. I don't know if this is the fight we want to be taking right now. There is a very great concave of Archons. Oh my god, the charge are doing such a great job at buffering here for the army. Maybe I should have believed a little bit harder in this because PattyMac is breaking through. But without the buffer, we don't want to overstay our welcome. We have a couple more Zelts coming in, and my god, Charge Lot Archon ends up breaking this 4th base. The boys are being pulled. In the end, 3-point will defend, but that was a better trade for PattyMac. And PattyMac, with the reinforcements, comes back in. I think what I'm most impressed by, as we have a couple of biles, barely missing, is that PattyMac is able to reinforce and keep the pressure on without a warp prism. He just keeps warping it at home and just rushing across the map. Like, it's not really the most efficient way to do things, but like, it was working. And again, it just traded so well. We have Stalkers here in the backline. We have a couple of Disruptors coming out finally. I do think that 3-point has kind of missed his timing, has missed his opportunity to counterattack. Bearing in mind, he lost every single one of his Ravagers. 8 Ravagers, 27 Roaches. All of this, this entire Roach Ravager army, for 2 Archons, essentially. The Zealots are negligible. So great trades here for PattyMac. A little bit of a misrally. Okay, get out of here, Poppy. Get out of here. Disruptor does have to turn around. He has to go back home. As PattyMac gets a 5th base. Now PattyMac up in bases. We have defensive Disruptors. Pushing into this choke point is never going to work here for 3 points. Going to try, but again, doesn't really want to dance too hard with these Disruptors. The Ravager's going to get picked off. Blink is on the horizon, finally, for our Blink Stalkers. And we're hitting critical mass here for Protoss. When it comes to the Zerg player, we still just have Roach Ravagers, just not ideal. The advantage of Roach Ravager is being able to max out sooner rather than later, but oh my god! All 3 Novas connect. GG gets called, and PattyMac takes game number 1. Oof. In very PattyMac fashion. GG. ¿Qué tal? Buenos días, Nish. Buenos días. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? This lovely Tuesday morning. And now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Again, PattyMac, that was just his signature build, going 3 Gateway into Glaveless Adepts, into Glaive Adepts, into Phoenixes, into DTs, eventually into Disruptors. Yeah, that's kind of his go-to. He doesn't do it every game in ZVP, but he does it like at least once a series, and he does it better than any other because he's the only one that does it. It's interesting. GG. And now we're going to be getting into our next game. Is going to be on Cosmic Sapphire. Oh my. I'm not ready to cast. Oh my god. I can barely see. But another reason why I wanted to cast today is I looked at the bracket and it looks really good. We do have 2 Ducklings in the bracket, both PattyMac and Vindicta. and I want to showcase them a little bit. I want to be sure that they can be casted, because I do think that they can both go for deep runs. They can both at least make it to the quarterfinals, hopefully even further, hopefully. Breaking into the semis is going to be a little bit harder. I believe PattyMac has to, sorry, I believe Vindicta has to get through max packs and PattyMac has to get through beyond. But we'll get to the bracket. We'll get there. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have our South Korean Zerg player representing himself and Team Odo. It is 3point. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, what? Wait. Okay. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the American Protoss player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is PattyMac. El Patito himself. Let's go. So it was really odd to see 3point that game, because for those who are unaware, 3point is typically a cheesy player. He's typically a very aggressive player, I should say. But last game he was playing very reactive and very standard, which was surprising to me. It's not the 3point that I know and love. Hashtag not my 3point. So yeah, I was really shocked and really surprised to see that kind of style out of him. I kind of expected to see the early Roach Warren, if you remember, but then he cancelled it. He decided to go and take in a bit of a different direction instead. So he was planning to be aggressive last game, if you remember, with that Roach Warren, and then he changed his mind, and I think he changed his mind for the worst. Was able to counterattack with Ling Bane after the Adepts, but by that point it was too late and he was too far behind. So yeah, he's gonna have to go back to the drawing board. He's gonna have to come out with something a little bit different here, if he does want to take down a player of the caliber of PattyMac, especially on a map like Cosmic Sapphire, where it's so much easier to defend on 2 bases, where the choke point, we only need 2 buildings and 1 unit to fully wall off. You know, we have a long rush distance, we have a gold base, we have a very typical and very predictable kind of 3rd, 4th, and 5th base locations, so it's kind of harder to defend later on as well when it comes to establishing a 5th base. So yeah, but all this applying to the Zerg mainly. So yeah, we'll see what 3point has in store for us. So far, Hatch Gas Pool, we did see a little bit of an interesting opener with the double gas cancel to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit greedier with our drones. But PattyMac going for a Stargate. Oh my. Fly without glasses. Crazy. Crazy, Bobby, crazy. But yeah, I don't really intend to cast the entire tournament, I'll be honest. I mainly intend to cover both PattyMac and Vindicta. If they go to the finals, then we'll go to the finals. If they go to the quarterfinals or semifinals, then that's where we'll end. I don't really intend to cover the entire thing. I'm not. I need to go to sleep after this. Okay. Oh god. As 3point has cut drones. Oh my god, we have quite a number of links coming across the map. Pretty interesting here. It looks like he wants to try and deny any kind of 3rd or maybe break into the natural. This Stalker will go down, so we do have a second pylon behind this. So we have a full wall. Up. Oof. Oh my god. That was so close. That was so close. The Stalker survives barely on 4 HP. The Adept gets here just in time, but there are more links where that came from. And again, 3point is just straight up ling flooding across the map. PattyMac does have a second pylon, and then we go the Oracle Dust Stick round as well, but we need a shield battery. Oh, that's a bit greedy. 3rd base is thrown down. A bunch of these things are being chased away by PattyMac's Oracle, but more lings are rocking up, and PattyMac hasn't recognized what's happening. He doesn't know. He doesn't know, Bubby. We are getting a full wall off, which is nice, but this Cybercore is going to go down. Thankfully, we do have a gateway. Do we have any more gateways in the main base? We do not. We have one on the way, but right now we're only going to have one powered. And without that Cybercore, we cannot warp in any more Adepts or Stalkers. The Cybercore will go down. We do have a very nice force field, barely keeping the Cybercore alive. Oh my god, very clutch. The links, they go in anyway, but no, it's a little bit too late. Where are the shield batteries? Okay, we have one shield, one on the way. Cybercore goes down. Zealots can only be warped in, and hopefully we do have a warping of Zealots because, again, we have nothing to defend. There's one Zealot. It's gonna hold the line. We are going to have an overcharge as well. There we go. Overcharge is going to be able to keep the Zealot alive. We have a second Zealot on the way. We have a couple more gateways finishing up in the main. So we do have access to a little bit more production. Oh god, but we need like a Void Ray. These Oracles, they just have, their energy is finite. As the Lings are trying to break on in. Oh god. PattyMac is doing a great job at walling off. We do have another gateway being thrown down. We do have a little bit more energy on this Oracle. 3-point is not, he's unrelenting. But the walls, the layers, Poppy, the layers upon layers of walls are going to be enough. The Lings are starting to run out, to be honest. We do have a sentry and one more force field. Up. The Lings, they break through. The Cybercore is under threat. They're going to be able to get through the Cybercore and this pylon. We do have a force field to save the pylon a little bit longer. But the Cybercore, up. God, these force fields are slow clutch. Where are the goddamn shield batteries? That's all I want in this life, shield batteries. And this Oracle, it's got energy. There we go. We do have that Oracle energy being spent. The Cybercore goes down. Only Zealots can be warped in. GG gets called. PattyMac holds and takes the series 2-0. Oh my god. That was wild. GG. I was so scared because we only ever had one shield battery there. One shield battery. But I guess the wall was more important anyway. You know, getting the gateways up, getting the pylons up. It was really I felt like it was really risky to for PattyMac to warp in sentries. The force fields did come in clutch, but it also meant that he didn't have as much DPS as an adept or even a stalker would provide. But I guess force fields were more important than anything else, just to make sure that the wall was able to stand strong, and more than anything rely on those oracles to regen their energy and to activate their beams. And with that, PattyMac takes the series 2-0 and will move on to, I believe, the round of 16. And does he have an opponent? He does! PattyMac versus Exo Striker. Let's go. Follow.